Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about some more Rippaverse Detractors. We're going to be going through a couple of different people. We're also going to be talking about a couple of people who are making comments about other YouTubers like Gary from Neurotic, Melody Mac, etc., etc. So we'll start off as usual with our Rippaverse store. Rippaverse Comics hoodie pre-order. You get your short box. The poster is drawn and I think colored and inked by Rini, who made the book Fiendish. So you can get this. You got your mass print covers, you got your shirts, you got your hats, you got your other posters, you got your cover B's and your cover A's. Moving over to Blade Devil 2, you got 43 days left to get your copy of the book with 83,848 US dollars, 827 backers, and the project is expected to ship out shortly after the 60 days of this campaign is over. You get 4 options of covers currently with the Chains of Blood Summer Limited Summer Edition wraparound. You get covers A, B, and C, which we'll go through. You'll see some artwork. This book looks fantastic. You can add on Blade Devil 1 with your order, or you can go to Six Fox Studios Unlimited, get your damage covers of book 1, and get it quicker. Moving on down to what you get, 69 pages of story plus 2 supplemental stories, which would be this one and this one. You get your cover A with Ashiyara. You get a free card with it. Cover B with Luna, who's like the main villain of the story. You get cover B. You get cover C, the not safe for work version of it. You get Night Ashiyara card. Your limited wraparound, which is basically a cover that wraps around the entire book. So this will be the front. This half will be the back. You get your Barrel Shota card and your bonus rain card if you sign up for the. You can get an Ashiyara mouse pad, Luna mouse pad. There's your covers. There's your pillow covers for your waifu concerns. Yeah, they have the not safe for work version on one side and the safe for work version on the other. But now we're going to move over to Rippaverse Goalposts, where you got some people like Bob. We have some other people like Big Daddy. Got some other people talking a bunch of noise about different YouTubers like Erotic, LA Mac, etc. We'll go through it all right here. It's what I do on this channel. It's what I will continue to do on this channel, regardless of what anyone says. But I will, of course, always be doing other content. I'm hoping to put out 3 videos today, so look forward to it. Let's get started. Need to make sure the audio is on.
With their families. I think this is a good time to point out once again that Hollywood was considered essential by the state of California during COVID when millions of people, including my wife, were not.
Now that I know it's a sore point for Gary, that might be kind of why he decided to go on this old fuck Hollywood thing. Because
he's been on this F Hollywood thing for quite a bit since they've been putting out absolute garbage. And one of the biggest things was probably The Last Jedi, which is probably one of the biggest pieces of garbage dumpster fire I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't think Hollywood was essential during the lockdowns. And Gary, I'll go ahead and say it again. I feel sorry that your wife lost her business because of lockdowns. That's a terrible thing. That's awful. But it was a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, and shit happens, and there's casualties, and I feel
Yeah, but no one should have to lose their livelihood over something like this. Not at all. Which is why Gary left California, because of all the egregious nonsense going on during this time.
It's awful that your wife was one of them. It truly was, but it doesn't excuse you going on the internet and being a bigot. It really doesn't.
And you lost me. He's not being a bigot. Y'all are the ones that are doing that. Gary's expressing his opinions based on what he sees in Hollywood, and he's expressing his opinions saying he doesn't like something or he does like something. Simple as that.
For those,
I mean, you're bringing in the subs, you're getting the views. Can she not borrow or fuck? She's your wife. Give her the money so she can reopen a salon, Gary. Like, what's stopping her now? No, dude. Like, how much are you making? Seriously. Like, ad revenue alone, I bet you're doing fine. Let's get estimates. He wants to whine about his wife's business being out. And I know he's moved, but dude, it just reopen. The fuck?
It's not as simple as it sounds. You would probably know that if you knew anything about opening a business, but you would never ask someone like Eric July who would know this type of thing because he's done it. You would not know the hoops and complications you have to go through in order to open up said business. You can ask Gary himself too. I mean, he's owned a comic shop before. Well, he didn't open it, but he did run a comic shop. I guess, yeah, he did own a comic shop. So.
All right, so Social Blade, which, you know, it's not perfectly accurate, but it's reasonably accurate. It says he's making $15,000 through $250,000 a year. And I'll tell you from personal experience,
it's nowhere near accurate. I'm just going to point that out real quick.
You're not making the upper end, but you're making a lot closer to the upper end than the bottom end. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and be conservative, Gary. I'll say you're probably making about $150,000 a year in ad revenue. Can your wife not borrow like $10,000 and reopen her business? Like,
it most likely costs way more than that to reopen a business. But again, this is coming from people who have no experience in opening a business.
You're just gonna do this big dick shit and not help your wife reopen her business? Or has your wife reopened her business already, and you're just whining and bitching because it gives you a talking point? Which is it, dude?
Anyway, back to the article.
He's allowed to complain and bitch all he wants about it because it was serious for him. It was something his wife worked her entire life for, and it just gone within a summer, essentially. So he has every right to bitch and complain about this as much as he wants. Because it was that important to him. It was that important to his wife. He has every right to bitch and complain about it. Moving over to someone who calls himself Kylo Ren on YouTube. Well, why Geeks and Gamers and Neurotic Ryan Canella losers? Why funny parody exposes them, I guess.
And seeing these thumbnails, seeing these videos, it is very disappointing. How are these people commentators? See, at least I could try to make it entertaining. Like, for instance, I could do this.
Check this out.
I mean, you're messing with a figure. I don't think that's more entertaining than listening to someone who actually cares about the movie industry and why it's doing so terribly.
You see what I'm saying? That 8-second clip is better than whatever the fuck content all these content creators are making these days.
It's clearly not, considering you have 590 views on this video, and even this video right here has 1.2 million views. Clearly it was good enough to gain 1.2 million views.
At least I can do it. They can't. What do? This is what they do. I'll show you a little representation of what they do.
Well, if you could do it, then why aren't you doing it? That's the thing that all these people on here that want to hate on other creators that are more successful, they always like to claim that they could do it better or they could do it a different way. If that was the case, y'all would all be doing it. But apparently you're not doing it because you know you're not really able to do it.
What up, geeks and lamers? Back with you with another video, and Rosario Dawson, turns out she's a Liberace and loves pizza, but hates George Lucas and said he was a bitch. Yeah, I'm sitting behind my chair right here, you see in the background. What else is, oh yeah, I hate Disney Star.
This is very cringe. Like, now I understand why your videos have such low views. You have really no energy here. You're trying very hard to be funny, which is what a lot of people seem to be doing nowadays. When they want to make fun of more successful creators, you try extra hard to be funny.
Star Wars? Buy into my OnlyFans. My OnlyFans, please. If I get closer to the camera, will you send me money? I'm desperate. I need money. Send me money now.
Literally none of these creators beg for money. They never beg for money. I never beg for money either. I just tell my fans and viewers if they like to donate further and support the channel, they can by becoming members or super thanks in the video. But no one's ever obligated to give me money. I'm not owed anyone's money. I'm not owed anyone's time. I do appreciate it when people go above and beyond to go the extra mile and super thanks on a video or become a member of the channel or super chat or super sticker or whatever.
Hi, welcome to the Mile High Club livestream. As you can see in the background, I love Mario Kart, Luigi. Geeks and Lamers loves Mario and Luigi. That means I love video games. That means I'm trying to be hip.
I mean, they do live streams pretty much every day or almost every day playing video games, playing things like Titanfall, Fortnite, Mario Kart. I mean, you can't really pretend to like Mario Kart. I mean, you can, but you can tell by the way Geeks and Gamers plays Mario Kart that they're actually interested and they actually love playing the game of Mario Kart.
Am I not cool? Am I not cool? Oh yeah, and also hate Hollywood. I hate movies and TV shows.
They hate modern movies and TV shows. They like old movies and TV shows that are better than most current garbage being released by Hollywood, which is why essentially no one cares that they're on strike right now because the majority of the content they put out is absolute garbage.
Oh look, Donkey Kong. Yeah.
That's Diddy Kong, by the way. You just made yourself look dumb. That literally says that's Diddy Kong. It's Diddy Kong Racing. Even though it's very hard to see and blurry, I can tell by the picture. It's Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I have that friend and that other friend too as well.
And this is why your channel is the way it is. This is exactly why your channel is the way it is. I don't understand these people. You also have Oni no Hanzo. Why do you people promote the Rippaverse? Do you actually think that it's good? Shut up, Gary. Oh yeah, they like the Rippaverse. That's why they buy the merchandise and they buy the comics. Of course you deleted the tweet because none of you pussies can stand on what you say. Y'all can never stand on what you say. You always gotta say some out-of-pocket stuff and then you can never stand on it. By the way, do not interact, communicate, or post on anybody's social media at all. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to mention it now. Moving on over to Big Daddy, because apparently he always has some great insight on the Rippaverse. He claims he's roasting the Rippaverse even though the Rippaverse is successful.
Hey, they got the Alpha Core coming out. Alpha Core? More like Alpha Boar.
Yeah, nice insult because the book's not even out yet.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you look at what they did in the first one. What they had a few panels where they were fighting Yaira. Yaira was one woman. She single-handedly fought them to a standstill. Which leads me to believe that all three of the Alpha Core combined isn't as strong as one Yaira.
Okay, you can have that opinion and assumption of that. No one's telling you can't say that's true.
And then what happens in the second book? From what I hear, they're just sitting around talking about Yaira. They're not doing anything. Yeah, if you want to establish...
Okay, the book is called ISOM. It's not called Alpha Core. That's why you have an Alpha Core book for Alpha Core. Clearly, people are interested enough to learn more about Alpha Core, which is why the Alpha Core book series exists. That's typically how it works with the Rippaverse. People request a character to request a book for certain characters, and then it gets made.
These people as hardcore, as badass, show them doing something hardcore and badass. Show them actually, beating the fuck out of Yaira. Or doing something, show them doing something in the second book. Supposedly, Brian Solari single-handedly was responsible for helping Texas win its independence from the United States of America, which means that Brian Solari had to have fought the United States military to a standstill and whatever excepts they could throw at him. Why couldn't they have shown that in a few flashback scenes? All you do is take one page, cut it in half, show a little bit of something. Show Brian Solari using his eyeball lasers or something.
That's what the Alpha Core book is probably going to have. Why would you waste story, like full story on Alpha Core when the book's not called Alpha Core, it's called ISOM?
Frying an entire battalion full of tanks or something. And then show him just like fucking beating the fuck out of all of their XEPs. They're all broken on the ground. And he stands like actually show how badass these motherfuckers are. Yeah, there's an old saying, show, don't tell. Understanding that it's a visual medium. And you gotta make things look as cool as possible. And it looks way cooler when you show and you rather than tell. And this motherfucker doesn't understand that. Because he doesn't know how to fucking write comics.
Clearly knows how to write them enough to make over $6 million, but again, I'm going to say this to people like this, where are your millions? If you're so great at writing, then write your own comic. Simple as that. But you won't do that because you just want to sit up here and complain about other people's supposed terrible writing, yet you won't actually do it yourself.
Like, he doesn't know how to write, period. Like, if you don't know how to write, period, like, you don't jump into one of the most hardest things there is to do to write comics and then expect to succeed there. Boy, that's his...
Well, he's been succeeding with 2 multi-million back-to-back campaigns.
That's his kryptonite, his trigger word. Anytime anybody's debating Eric July, all you gotta do is say, Amazing Fantasy 15. Amazing Fantasy 15. All of a sudden, like,
Eric July knows what Amazing Fantasy 15 is, you dummy.
Like that. He'll start jumping around like a chimpanzee. Start flinging his feces.
It's very racist, by the way. But as usual, these Rippaverse detractors and haters always expose themselves for who they really are. Nothing new there. Moving over to a Melanie Mac hater. We're going to get into it, and then we'll finish. We're going to do some more.
But it's not just paperwork. Even, like, here, I wrote it out.
See, y'all, she almost cried, though, because she got some flashbacks, though, because, like, she only had 2.5 years. Keep in mind, though, she got divorced, like, 2020, right, though? And she was, like, married in what, like, I want to say, 2018, 2019. So, but she basically had 2.5 years of marriage, and, like, now she's been divorced for 3.5 years, though. It's just, like, you wasn't even with that nigga that long, though. And keep in mind, though, it's just, like...
I just want to say, YouTube, I am not saying these words. I am not saying these terrible words you don't like. I am responding and commentating on a video from someone else completely.
He divorced her behind. Yes. And I could see why, because like I could tell Money Mac is just a vindictive, crazy person, only cares about outer appearance, only cares about, control freak though. And so like that nigga dodged the bullet though, like
whoa. Again, only commentating. You really don't know if she's crazy because you don't really know her. She seems pretty normal to me. She's just giving her opinions about a Barbie movie and reading stuff about a certain corn star, we'll say, who claims to have a relationship advice, which she does not. And even if she did have real advice, I wouldn't take any advice from those people who do that. So.
Like Melanie Mac's ex-husband, wherever you are, my home dude, my boy, though, it's just like right on. And you dodged the bullet, though. Didn't have no kiss with this girl. It's just like, yes. And the fact that she's acting this crazy because her nigga divorced her proves how much...
All right, I don't want to continue this because I don't want to have it in my channel because this dude just keeps spewing the N-word constantly. We're going to just move on. I started my account to call activists like this. They are real bullies. Fans won't sit on the sidelines and watch you pull this nonsense. You have someone saying, Saska Sisters, are you going to ignore the phobias from your boss, Eric July? You work for someone who actively works to undermine queer people. It's like, no, he doesn't. That's definitely not true. And no one's scared of gays or trans people. Can we stop the nonsense? Stop the cap. Just stop. Yeah, I guess we'll do this one. Organized Chaos Experience NPC malfunction says the word like 13 times in 13 seconds. What's wrong with it?
See, no matter what it is, I just can't imagine being like either negotiating it myself.
He is quite stupid, isn't he? Like, like most of his shit, like it was like when I was debating him. Like, it's like all like this, like I'm getting like that's his angle. Like I'm gonna get mad. And I'm gonna be frustrated.
He destroyed you in that debate, and Dane confirmed it, by the way. Dane recently confirmed it in his hour and 22-minute video studying a comic book charlatan.
Frustrated, but like that's all he fucking got. That's all he's fucking got. He doesn't have any actual points or logic or reason. It's just, this is dumb.
But me having
I mean, everything you say is dumb, Bob, because nothing you say makes any type of sense. You want to be the last person talking about arguments. Meanwhile, you want to try to fling around and deflect arguments when you were having that debate with Eric, which is why essentially he destroyed you in that debate. Let's see, what else we got? Oh yeah, this person right here, like I said, this person was trying to cancel Mahler because apparently he used some clips from one of her videos and said that he was stealing content even though it's protected under fair use. Again, don't interact with anyone I show in this video, like I said. Keep all your comments in the comment section down below. I'm going to skip over this one. We're just going to move over to this guy. Black Angus Reviews. Talking about he has some beef even though it's one-sided with Eric July. When it comes to Eric July, of course. And we're going to do this video and then a couple more things and then we'll be wrapping this video up. This guy thinks Eric July and him have, quote, beef because he failed to comprehend ISOM, which was demonstrated in a discussion with Eric here on X. Let's take a listen.
Let's see, that was a question you offered after not answering the pertinent question of what are ISOM's powers, risks, and or weaknesses. But sure, I'll answer another question. Yes, people can have different conclusions on media. Currently, IDK have Star Wars series eating up Ahsoka, given his lore expertise. And he says, if you can concede there's a possibility that you could possibly have a comprehension issue, I'll point you to help. If not, that's a waste of my time because you simply won't accept any other position. And I'm just like, well, what am I missing? This is the whole point. It's like I've stated things I've seen in your book, and then you're saying I'm missing it, and I'm like, oh.
You clearly are missing it because seems like most people who have read ISOM 1 and 2 can tell you what his powers are and what kind of powers he does have. So,
ultimately, this whole thing is like, what am I missing? Because I think this is bad. You could essentially give a commentary. Sometimes things go over people's head. I don't think that's the case with this book. I think it's pretty clear and obvious. But I'm open to you enlightening me as the creator himself of ISOM 1 and 2. What am I missing in what I've just stated? Did none of the things I stated about the monkey demon, the impact, he can't fly, he hits walls, but then he runs from cops? Did I miss anything? Did those things happen? If we can agree on that, then my question stands of this doesn't make sense. There's no clarity to the risk to your character. Thus, this hurts the overall story because it feels arbitrary now.
It really just feels like this guy can't comprehend what ISOM's powers are. That's what this kind of sounds like. And I think it's very disingenuous for him to say it affects the story because you can't understand what ISOM's powers are, or it seems to understand the story at all.
This is the problem in Ahsoka, actually, is what is the risk of a lightsaber now? You've shown that someone can get directly stabbed, which before we've seen people get killed by that. Yoda's done it to clone troopers. Qui-Gon Jinn died by Darth Maul's hand with a lightsaber. Obi-Wan got his head cut off. Obi-Wan was debilitated by just getting tapped twice by a lightsaber.
Obi-Wan didn't get his head cut off. He became a Force ghost. He got disintegrated. There was no head cutting off because there was no head there. What you could have said, though, was that someone's arm got cut off in the cantina in episode 4, which is what you could have said, which is something you clearly didn't think of.
On his limbs. Anakin's had his limbs cut off, and that's part of why he wears this robotic suit. So there's a multitude of things with that franchise, and now lightsabers mean nothing unless the narrator, the story writer, wants it to. Girl can survive a direct stab wound, but then a apparently Nazgul Sith guy might be dead, having been slashed, or he might still be alive because he's a vapor dust man. I don't.
He goes off on a tangent about Star Wars, like no one's caring about Star Wars. This guy thinks he's some big deal, when in reality, Eric has no idea who he is. To which the same guy who claims that everyone else is a simp. Eric July is only a big deal because he got on Glenn Beck's junk and right-wing Fox News. Daily Wire pushed him. No, he was a big deal before any of that. He's been a big deal for quite a bit in the social political commentary space. He's been doing YouTube since he was like 16 years old. And he's built his audience over years of hard work and making videos constantly. Like, what are you talking about? He's only a contributor to the Blaze, which, of course, for anyone who's been in my live streams, if you mention Glenn Beck, you know you gotta take a drink of water. It's like, dude, get a grip. Last but not least, we have Actual Fandom saying it's Alpha QR. Now it's Chuck Dixon, which JQ Joe and Scamly. Apparently still calling Air July Scamly and calling it a grift and a scam, even though, again, people have received physical product in their hand. It's like, what product are you offering besides your terrible opinions on other YouTubers that are more successful than you are? Why is it that all you give to the internet is terrible opinions on people that you dislike? That's literally all you contribute. So, I guess you could keep going on doing that. Apparently, also talking about Drinker, which he brings up this, where Drinker says, reflecting the world we live in today may be the single most destructive phrase in modern writers' rooms, which the whole thing about Lucas talking about the Viacon, right? That inspired Star Wars, even though that wasn't going on when Star Wars was made. So this makes no sense, Dane. Like, again, every single day you show people how really stupid you actually are. You have got to be one of the most dumbest people on the internet. Holy crap. Wow. Amazing. Like I said, back to Rippaverse stuff. Please do go ahead and back Blade Devil 2. Fantastic storyline about a sister losing herself to a curse, trying to find her lost sibling, which is fantastic. And I hope everybody would enjoy this video. Thank you all for watching it. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. I do appreciate everyone who has become a member, regardless of tier level. I'm trying to get my emotes up for you guys. Just got to get them from the person I have them from. I had them made. Comment below what you feel about all this. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video or live stream. I'm hoping to start a brand new podcast called Nostalgia Bait. Should be the first episode on Saturday, talking about Final Fantasy. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.